So I'm trying to decide here, do I go with the aw shucks sweet and gentle approach while I own up to sucking at making predictions this year? Like, oh come on guys, my reasoning for why I picked Barcelona and Ajax to win, if I remember correctly, was very sensible, and after leg one, I felt more encouraged than ever that I was gonna be right, and I'm sure you felt the same way after leg one, so come on, let's hug this out. Or should I fight the fire of the haters with my own fire and go super aggressive, like, do you know f***ing what, you bunch of know-it-alls? Yeah, I'm looking at you, the ones that are now claiming that they totally knew that Liverpool were gonna score 4 goals in leg 2 without Bobby Firmino or Mohamed Salah on the team, and that Lucas Moura would score a hat-trick for Spurs in the second half of leg 2 to send them to the final. Yeah, you called it, you f***ing liars. You're f***ing lying. Maybe I should just rewatch what I said like a normal reaction video and then make a decision. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's start with Ajax Spurs first. On one hand, we have Spurs, who despite not famously making any signings during the last 2 transfer windows, find themselves as the slight favorites heading into a Champions League semifinal. And yes, I know, it's hard for me to believe that this phrase is coming out of my mouth. Spurs are in the Champions League semifinals. And now, these guys are in the final. Yes, it's coming out of my mouth. Spurs are in the Champions League final. And I just can't believe it. But with the injury to their leading scorer, Harry Kane, though we could argue Spurs look better when Kane isn't on the field, as well as my choice for Spurs' most important player of the season, Heung-min Son, who is out for leg 1 due to yellow card accumulation, I'm not sure, with all due respect to Lucas Moura and Fernando Llorente, that Spurs are the slight favorites anymore. God damn it. Can I take that back about Lucas Moura? The guy decided to become a Ballon d'Or candidate in the last 45 minutes of leg 2. But what I do know is that leg 2 this time around will be in Amsterdam, while Spurs' new stadium will host leg 1. So we'll see if that impacts Ajax in any way in this 2-legged affair. Now, I don't think it will, because this Ajax team seems immune to adversity. It just seems like every time something goes wrong collectively, someone individually makes a play that solves the issue, and then they go back to outplaying their opponents again, which has been incredible to watch. And Ajax's Hakim Ziyech, who scored an absolute banger earlier in leg 2, missed 2 easier chances later in the game that would have solved the issues that Ajax were having, but one went wide and the other chance hit the post, and I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, this is too painful. But Spurs have only won 2 out of their last 6 league matches. I don't know why I put up another 2. And they didn't even win their last Champions League game against City either, so as much as it's easy to get excited about them, Ajax are actually playing better, and I think they'll continue to do so over these 180 minutes against Spurs. So, sorry Spurs fans, I'm going with the team of the jersey that I'm wearing. Ajax is going to win this 4-2. It would have ended 4-2 if Ziyech scores either one of those chances. So this is some bullshit, because I was so close to not only nailing the result, but the exact scoreline, which proves just how thin the line is between success and failure. And now I'm feeling a prediction god status revoked coming my way, but it, let's just keep the hits coming. Let's just talk about Barcelona and Liverpool now, right? I think we have to look at it in a few different ways. First, it's with current form. Both are on top of the table in the respective leagues, but Barcelona are 1 win and an Atleti loss away from clinching the La Liga title, while Liverpool will be in a dogfight with Man City until the very end, which makes me wonder, who actually has the advantage in this situation? Is it the team that can put all of their focus and energy into winning one competition and take it easy in the other because they've already clinched the title? Or is it the team that, since they're playing in high pressure, must win games every time they step on the field, they're gonna be sharper overall, which will help them get the results needed? Okay. All right, so there's no more argument to be had. The team that should have been tired, well, they won. And the team that was theoretically rested and could focus only on this competition, well, they lost. However, Ajax, who are also in the middle of a tight battle to win the league against PSV in the Eredivisie, well, they did appear tired at the end, which we could say contributed to why they lost, because they stopped making the necessary plays and started playing too deep. And anyway, I guess this is my way of suggesting that there's still maybe an argument to be had here about what I was saying with regard to all those questions, which were good questions, by the way. Anyway, second, it's with emotion, because I'm curious to see how Luis Suarez and Philippe Coutinho react to playing against their former club, and less in leg 1 of the Camp Nou, and more at Anfield for leg 2, because there has to be some emotion there. I think there was some legitimacy to what I was saying here, because neither player played well at Anfield in leg 2, so I nailed this reasoning. Third, it's with emotion, part 2. I'm using a lot of numbers here because with the final being in Madrid, I'm sure for many reasons, some of which are off the field, we have to believe that Barcelona would love nothing more than winning the biggest trophy in Europe in the city of their biggest sporting and political rival. So I think we'd be pretty naive if this wasn't on the minds of the Barcelona players in some capacity. And you know what? This had no bearing on anything, so let's just move along, shall we? Or what do they say? Delete and never come back or whatever. Fourth, with experience, because Liverpool has most recently been here before after losing in the final last season. But for me, they're better now than they were then, and we could argue that that failure inspired them to get back to this point because they seem hungry to make things right. And of course, by not starting Loris Karius this time around, they're already giving themselves a much better chance to have success. This is a great point. So why didn't I follow through on this? Why? But Barcelona and a few of their aging core players have been here before and have won a few of these trophies already, so even though they haven't made it this far in the competition since they won it all in 2015, you can't sleep on players that understand what it takes to win the biggest prize in Europe, whereas there are no players or coaches on Liverpool that can claim the same thing. Well, that is, besides Daniel Sturridge and someone else, you knob. Oh, I didn't do your research and whatever. Listen, I got a little lazy when I was doing this one, okay? Get off my back. Also, fun fact, someone called me a tit the other day on Twitter, which is, well, I didn't realize how important it was gonna be to me on my bucket list until I got called a tit. Nobody's called me a tit before. Yeah, I'm thrilled. I feel like I made it. It's a badge of honor. Somebody called me a tit. So keeping current form, emotion, part 1 and part 2, and experience into consideration, and also after considering that even though things feel pretty equal between the two clubs, despite me believing that Liverpool probably have a better back four, Liverpool don't have Messi. And Messi can make a better back four look pretty dumb on most days. And given the fact that I think Messi is on a mission to win this competition, and thankfully for him, unlike when he's playing for his country, he's surrounded by players that can help him achieve this goal of his, I like Barcelona to barely squeak by a very game Liverpool team 3-2. I was so f***ing close. It hurts. It f***ing hurts right in here. But I might be done. I might be toast. I might have to step away from this prediction game altogether. And I don't know. Because every time I pick a team to win, they lose, and it's starting to impact me on a personal level. So I just don't know. However, it might be fun to do a prediction video around the final just to see people lose their minds if I pick their team to win. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's happening, and I'm gonna do the Europa League final too. I'm gonna package them together. So you better hope that I don't pick your team. And now I'm a little excited about doing it again. This is gonna be fun. Later.